All right, thank the Most High for another day here. I'm going to get into a video which is called poetry. I thought I would kind of like tackle that, uh, not really tackle, but since I do write poetry, I don't really get into too much detail, because I don't want to take away the attention from the Bible. Some people can get caught up in writings and things of that nature. But I thought I would kind of like go into it based on our heritage as people, the children of Israel, uh, understanding my history, understanding well enough of the history to know that I am from the stock of Abraham's seed from Jacob, his grandson. All right, and I'm from the tribe of Judah. So knowing this information and looking at how Solomon, the king, was writing his proverbs. Proverbs is a poetic uh, book of the Bible. The Songs of Solomon. When you write, and David, when he wrote uh, various psalms or songs in Scripture, and if you really look at the pattern of how the books of the Bible is written, you will see the origin of poetry. Okay, um, some people from other nations have just used what was already written and you know tweaked it to their liking. Nothing is really, when it comes down to poetry, it's original when it comes down to the children of Israel. We write in a parabolic way in reference to subliminal messages. That's the reason why the children of Israel will be the ones that will be able to interpret the scriptures on another level, because we speak in parables so the enemy don't know everything to the point where he can take you down. His ears are shut. And if you are in sin, or if you are not spiritual enough, or a visionary, because some people say, well, if you are a visionary, you're considered, in the fantasy world, but you're not. Um, like for instance, the movie Matrix is a poetic movie. It's just in a movie form. Um, when you look at it, it's the lady Sophia Stewart was the one that actually got her information stolen from the Wakushti brothers, from her book called The Third Eye. Even though, of course, I don't deal with that term, but they got that information based on her information. So, but when it comes down to poetry, the children of Israel scattered everywhere, no matter where they are very spiritual people. Um, Knowing this, and the other nations know this, they can, label you as crazy or delusional to some degree when it comes down to this kind of information. But yet, these same people will make money off of your ideas in movies. Who do you think made The Matrix? Like I said, Sophia Stewart. You can look her name up. All right, I think it's Sophia Steward. I think that's the way you spell her name. But you can just put it in the Google box and you'll know that she is the actual mother of The Matrix. You have other writers that get their stuff stolen, but I'm not naming any names. I'm not trying to get into that information. Even when it comes to patents, they steal our information. All right, so but they're feeding off our spirit anyway. But they'll tell you, once you realize who you are and once you know the source of their so-called ideas that they took from you or our foreparents, you're considered delusional, racist, biased. There's no favoritism. There's no race. All right, you don't even see race, human race in the Bible. It's a people, a nationality of people that was given the law, statutes, and commandments. These people are a peculiar people above all people. They were chosen. It's just that simple. And like I said, I just wanted to go into how the English language has subliminal messages behind it, and the Most High actually chose that language as the prominent language, I would say, today for His people. I think it's just about the easiest language to learn. So it's not too hard to break down and decode. All right. So I thought I would just get into, how we need to kind of like look at certain issues as people. All right, let me get the Bible. So I need to add that. If that's the first and foremost thing. Give me a minute here. Let's go to Amos chapter 9. Amos chapter 9, right? Amos chapter 9 verses 8 and 9. Amos chapter 9 verses 8 and 9. And I want to look at, and I want you all to kind of bookmark in your brain the word mope. M-O-P-E. M-O-P-E. The reason why a lot of our people go through moping and, feeling that, anguish and, just animosity and, a person that's moping and moping around, they just low of spirits. All right. Not saying that they have a demon on them or they're depressed. There's a difference between being depressed and being oppressed. But when you are an oppressed people, you're gonna mope sometimes. That's not a sin. That's because of the flesh. But during your moping time, there's certain times where the Most High can speak into your spirit as a cry for your soul, and then you're gonna write certain things, and that's what you're reading in Scripture when you read Psalms. Because of David's sin, he understood when he put Uriah on the hottest part of battle. He felt so bad about that. He was moping. His spirit was at mope, if you want to use that subliminal term. So he wrote Psalms. Solomon felt horrible for what he did, so he wrote Proverbs. And see, that's the way it go. People always like to look at these two brothers and say they were sinners, but you don't look at the last estate of these people. You look at Psalms, you look at Proverbs, those particular those books. You notice in Songs of Solomon, if you will, you'll notice that those particular books are after the sins of David and after the sins of Solomon. All right, so that's what we got to realize. All right, now let's go to Amos chapter 9 verses 8 and 9, and it says, behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom. We are the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy. So saving means there's going to be an elect few, as it says in Matthew 24, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel. So we are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. So of course certain things are going to happen to, in Missouri, and the brother got shot, and our people getting shot in the neighborhoods and all that, because we are vulnerable to sin. Because we sin, we're going to get it worse, because we was given the laws, the statutes and commandments. That's the reason why our people are going through so much moping, or we're in a mope state of mind, like down in spirit. You're not depressed all the way, because we usually don't kill ourselves, because if you're really depressed when you kill yourself. When you suffer from depression, a lot of things are misdiagnosed. Okay, you're just at mope. Your spirit is low or in anguish because of our foreparents' fall, because we don't know who we are. Now we got the other nations taking advantage of you. All right. For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like a corn is sifted in sieve, and deceive. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. And that's what our people say because, oh, I spoke in tongues. I did this. I did this in the church. I put a three-piece suit on for Easter. I did this. I went to the altar and the preacher put some olive oil on my head and he did the cross on my head. And so it's not going to take you over. That's not it. That's why it says the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So we boast in our sins. You boast in your Lamborghinis or your Bugattis. You boast in your gold chains, in your rap songs, and getting caught up with all these different occults. But really your spirit is that mope, is moping. MOPE. I want y'all to really bookmark that in your mind. Actually, you probably would want to write that down real quick. All right. Now, let's see some other things that causes us to mope, right? Let's go to Jeremiah. And remember me saying, when you're at the state of low spirits, because that's what mope means, you're going to start to write certain things, like David. Okay? I don't want to put it all the way out there to what I'm getting to, but let me finish. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And it says, and thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. So, the Most High is very angry with Israel. When it says burn forever, every generation until Christ come back will feel this anguish and the sword from the Most High. The evil that we've done in his eyes. Every generation until Christ come back will feel the wrath. So your spirits will be low. Your money will be low. Your bank account will be low. Your tires in your car going to be low. How many times have we have to go outside, see a flat tire? Oh man, I didn't have enough money to get tires. Your gas in your car will be low. Okay? Your intellect level will be low. Because we are destroyed as a people. Verse 5, thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in a man. So that's the reason why this is written. Cursed be the man that trusts in man, because you're going to be cursed because now you believe that the European can save you. Okay? Cursed be the man that trusts in the man and maketh flesh his arm. You're going to make your Joe Osteen preachers and your T.D. Jake preachers your arm. And whose heart departeth from the Lord. For he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh. So you're going to hear my words that I'm speaking to you, or any other brother that know truth, and I am still learning, so I'm not boasting. It's going to be, you're going to be like in the desert. Look at this. For he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land, and not inhabit it. So you're going to be all up in these lavish places in America and all these areas, but you're going to be the ones being the waitress and waiters, you're going to see your bosses with all the nice cars and all that. You're going to see all this gloom, this glamour, but you ain't going to be able to inhabit it unless you sell yourself out, which that means you're no different than them in spirit. All right. So what else I can pull out the Bible real quick to let's go to Leviticus chapter 26. Leviticus chapter 26. See, when it comes down to it, people be wondering why they can write. People be wondering why they can sing. It's due to your mope state of mind. Certain things, the blues. Who came up with blues? Come on, man. You better wake up, man. That's who we are. We are the people. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 26, verse 34. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at the 31st verse. And it says, "And I will make your cities waste and bring your sanctuaries into desolation. And I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors. And I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein, your enemies which dwell therein, shall be astonished at it. And I will scatter you among the heathen." You see that? This is what causes us as people to be at low spirits. I don't care how much you say you at high spirit. I don't care. I don't care how much money you think you got. Something is in you that's connected to these to our foreparents. You're not going to be who you think you are. "And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you." So we always have to look over our shoulder. But you should be looking over your shoulder. But a lot of us are dull-minded, low in spirit, so much to the point where it don't matter anymore. Whatever, I'm gonna die one day. I might as well just do these drugs. You only got one life to live. "And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths." So that means that the natural order of the Most High, based on the land, don't forget, we do. Everything keeps the law of the Most High except man. "As long as it lieth desolate, and ye be in your enemy's land." Wow. What people are in their enemy's land? What people took us from so-called Africa and drug us over here in America? What people took us from or to the islands of the Ivory Coast areas and all over, scattered in Alaska, the Aleutian Islands, and all these areas? What people have done that to us? All right. So I hope a lot of this is connecting to why a lot of us are good at certain writings. "Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths." I'm going to read that again. "As long as it lieth desolate, and ye be in your enemy's land, and even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbaths. As long as it lieth desolate, it shall rest, because it did not rest in your Sabbaths when ye dwelled upon it. And upon them that are left alive of you, I will send a faintness into their hearts." Faint. Mope. Faintness in their hearts. That's mope. Okay? Faintness into their hearts. "In the lands of their enemies." In the lands of their enemies. "And the sound of a shaking leaf shall chase them." So that's why you're fearful of everything. Not your own brother. You act like you all tough in front of him. But yet, you know you did some wrong. You got to sleep with your gun under your bed or right under your pillow or something. So you're scared. "Leaf shall chase them, and they shall flee, as a fleeing from a sword, and they shall fall when none pursueth. And they shall fall one upon another, as it were before a sword, when none pursueth, and ye shall have no power to stand before your enemies." You're not going to have any power. So that's why we all talking about black power, Black Panthers. Well, they say white power, so I stand corrected. Black Panthers be putting up the so-called African sign with the fist. We still here. Okay? "And ye shall perish among the heathen." So you're going to perish among the nations. That's what it means. "And the land of your enemies shall eat you up." So I don't want to make this video too long, because I know some people are not patient with long videos. Now, what is this anguish that we just read in Leviticus 26, that we just read in Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 3 through 5? Psalms. David wrote Psalms, Proverbs, Solomon. How did they get to that point? Their sins led them to their abilities to write certain even in Ecclesiastes. So we understand that these are prophetic, poetic type, and the whole Bible just about, if you read it, you got different levels of understanding. So when you look at this word mope, when you're groping and when your spirits are low, as we just read in Leviticus 26, MOPE, right? If you scramble that word, it is not a coincidence that the English language puts stuff in our face and you're going to get poem. So when you do write your poetry, brothers and sisters, you're writing from your heart. If you don't write from your heart, you're not doing anything. But some of us have to go through stuff to activate the inner man that's connected to these four parents. But we got to realize we can't get totally connected to our poetry like we do, because that's going to lead us down a road of idolatry. We're idolizing ourselves. So that's why I don't really get into always posting poems. I almost got a book full, but that's not that. This is the book full of poems of our foreparents that we only need. So I may post one or two, but this here is the poetry of our foreparents. This is how you know that you are connected to these foreparents in this book. When you read Genesis, and I know I showed this before, but I just want to show a real quick snippet. It's a twofold understanding. And it's going to connect to your spirit because these are our people that wrote this. You're talking about Moses. He wrote the Pentateuch, the 5 books of the Old Testament. So when you read Genesis 1, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form. So you would say, of course, it's talking about the literal or physical earth. But it's actually talking, and it links to you as well. The Bible is all poetry, but it's on a spiritual, righteous, poetic level. Okay. So I'm a writer that deals with let me put it back up here. I deal with this based on flesh due to certain issues that can make your spirit low, but not your inner man, because that's when it comes alive. But when the flesh feels like it want to sin, I guarantee this is what you all do, right? This is what you all do. And hopefully y'all comment. Matter of fact, I want people to send me an email on like the times that you feel that you are angry or feel that Satan is attacking you. Just write down everything. And it don't have to be in a form, a poetic form, but just write, and it may come out like that anyway, but just write down everything that you feel within as you are fighting that evil side of you that Satan likes to taunt. And let me know, and I want people to really send me an email. I'm going to read them. The next video that I make, I'm going to read the poems that people, I'm always going to, if it's a lot, then I have to do, I have to vote on some things and things of that nature. But I want people to send me an email at judite07@gmail.com. That's Judite07. I'm going to post it at the bottom on the description box in this video. And I want, and Judite07@gmail.com. And I want you all to, the next time you feel that you want to commit a sin or something, watch what happens. Pick up the pen, pull the top off, put it on top of the pen, and get your pad and write, or go on Microsoft Word. If you got an old computer like mine, because I don't have Microsoft Word, Notepad, that's embarrassing, but oh well. And write down on a serious level, write down everything you're going through. All right? Shalom.